Yogesh, let's start with you because Yogesh Pawar has been in support of Teesta Setalvad and Zakia Jafri. Now, what I can say here, Yogesh, is that everyone understands what possibly and supports and empathizes with Zakia Jafri. Even the top court has called her a real victim of circumstances. But what the court has said, and if I can just quote the court here, the antecedents of Teesta Setalvad need to be reckoned with, and also because she's been vindictively persecuting this for her ulterior designs by exploiting the emotions and sentiments of Zakia Jafri, who's the real victim of the circumstances. So the allegation is that she used a real victim for her motives. Yogesh.
Well, this is just a way of looking at things, but the fact remains that Zakia Jafri and late Ehsan Jafri was a freedom fighter and someone who carried the legacy of Indulal Yagnik, somebody who was mentored by Mahatma Gandhi himself. This man has never got justice, and his widow has been fighting, running from pillar to post, and at every point, her fight has been frustrated. The ecosystem that is created is trying to thwart her attempts at getting justice for so very long. Teesta has stood by her, and Teesta has only facilitated her trying to seek justice. To then rephrase this and make it into a point where she's tutoring, because the idea that she's tutoring witnesses and all, yesterday what the Solicitor General said has been continuously at every court of law. It has been proven to be wrong, and time and again, this is not the first time Teesta has been targeted by the people who are in power now, because they're really scared of her. They worry that this is the woman who continuously questions the system, continuously asks them to be accountable, and holds up the constitution to do so. So obviously they are unhappy, and a woman that too. So there is obviously a lot of anger, and then the system has reacted.
But this has come from
also,
the court, from the
point
Supreme
out
Court.
here that the Supreme Court itself has put out, since you mentioned the Supreme Court has said all the various charges that have been made out against Teesta, under that none of them are she can be imprisoned for 7 years, even if, let's say, these disputable and very problematic charges that have been made out against her. If that is the case, then by the Supreme Court's own guidelines, she cannot be arrested. Why was she arrested?
Tushar,
More than the fact that she came to arrest her, why was she assaulted today?
So, Tushar, the allegations that this abrupt arrest coming in from the Gujarat ATS...
And this regime, can go to any limits. We
know so an assault against her, and this is despite there are already 2 other cases also. This is about forgery and criminal conspiracy, but there's also about money laundering, that there was a collection drive that was taken. There were also money siphoned off. So there are serious allegations. But what Yogesh is saying, that this is deliberate attempt by a government right now, and they are going after her.
See, if the government had to go after her, they had 8 years to do so. They had 20 years before, since this unfortunate right happened. Let's get a few things very clear in the beginning. Teesta had a scattered mention in the 450-odd page report, the judgment that came from the Supreme Court yesterday. She's mentioned 46 times. So it's not a scattered mention once here or there that the state is now using to harass her or arrest her. She's properly mentioned, her role is properly cited in the Supreme Court judgment. The second thing we need to understand is today the arrest that has been made, the Supreme Court has cited enough evidence where there is question about her misusing the funds that were essentially meant for the riot victims. She intentionally kept the pot boiling. I like to quote from page 154 of the report, where it says that the allegations, the applicant was making again and again new allegations and was hoping that the justice system would, look into them, and she was being pushed by the likes of Teesta Setalvad. Now the question is, Teesta Setalvad, she has all the right to go to a battle against the state. She has all the right to go against the state when it comes to an unfortunate event like this. But the question is, why was the money that was meant for the riot victims being used by her for liquor and luxury? That's also been one of the reports on your channel.
Okay.
Correct.
Let's restrain our words also with regard to that you're using about what the money could have been used, Tushar. But also,
one of the headlines on India Today. I'm sorry, but it was one of the headlines on India Today.
Okay, Yogesh, but I do have a question here. What Tushar is saying important. This is all.
Cannot bring a woman. See, look at the idea of how problematic this is.
No, but
Patriarchy
Yogesh,
speaks here.
no, it's not patriarchy. It's not patriarchy. Teesta has
No,
had
it's not
serious
about
charges
patriarchy.
against
I'm
her.
sorry.
Okay, Yogesh, here's my question. Tushar, let me ask the question. The question is, you are saying
Let's not drag into the women's side. I'm sorry.
It's not that. But
or misuse have been repeatedly in various courts of law been proven wrong. And
but these
she's
are
been given a
current
clean
cases
chit
that
by
are
the very
also
same.
on against
So if a clean
Yogesh.
chit is given
But
to Mr.
for you
Modi,
to
if it
say,
is given to Amit
okay,
Shah,
Yogesh,
then
hear me
then it
out. Mr. Yogesh Pawar, hear me out.
Then getting
For you
a
to say
complete
that
clean chit, but
Ehsan
the moment
Jafri
it is
has
done
not
with
got
Ms. Teesta
justice at
Setalvad,
all
then there is a problem.
on
So
2nd June
should there be two
2016,
standards?
hear me out. 24 people are convicted by a special court in the Gulbarga society, and that specifically is with regard to the Gulbarga society killings that have taken place, which left 69 people dead, including Ehsan Jafri.
28 February
But
2002, yes.
But Zakia Jafri kept on going with petitions that there's a larger conspiracy hinting and referring to the then Chief Minister Narendra Modi. The question court was also raising is that with these petitions that are also rejecting consistently, was there not Zakia Jafri but someone tutoring her, constantly pushing to target Narendra Modi, who's now got a clean chit?
Okay, so let me come to answer this one with saying that the same let's look at how the Gujarat Police and the Gujarat state government's track record when it comes to law and order and the swiftness with which it acts. Now you mentioned 28th February 2002. On that day, Ehsan Jafri for hours together kept calling the police control room all kinds of senior police officials, and nobody came to their assistance. In fact, 5 minutes after the police commissioner assured him that enforcements and his safety, they will be protected and enforcements will be sent. 5 minutes after that, a mob broke in and
We know
then
the timeline,
we saw
Yogesh.
that
What
10
I'm
people
saying
had
is that
died.
the court
So
did
I'm saying
convict 24
who
people
was
in the
power
Gulbarga
then?
society
Who was
case.
the chief minister? So the buck has to
Okay.
stop at who was in power, because at that point in time it is also true that this is a part of the Nanavati Commission statement that Sreekumar has made about what he told them about what Narendra Modi alleged to have said then, that the Hindus should be led to vent their anger.
Okay,